Are we sitting comfortably?
Yes, Papa will.
Then I'll begin. A long time ago, there were two young boys and they had a small black console called an N64.
Wow.
They loved to play games on their N64 and one of their favourites was GoldenEye.
GoldenEye?
Yes, they loved GoldenEye more than anything else in the world. But one day, another game came along.
Oh my god.
Yes, it was exciting times for both the boys. That game was far greater and far more powerful. It was violent, it was destructive, and it was just what the boys wanted. And it turned them from loving, wonderful little children into this.
Welcome to THROWBACK Gaming. I am Josh.
And I'm Will.
And we're going to delve into our history of one of our favourite games,
Yes,
Perfect Dark.
We're going to go through a little bit of the backstory, some kind of technical bits and pieces, the guns, the gizmos, but mainly what we loved about Perfect Dark.
Our experience.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Experiences.
Experiences,
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, Perfect Dark was a great game, but it wouldn't have been so great without people to play with. And you know, these were the days where you'd sit around with your mates, with your controllers, and you would have that, you know, that moment together, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt that moment.
You felt that moment right there, you see?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to go through, a few bits and pieces today. It's not going to be technical. It's just going to be fun, what we enjoyed about Perfect Dark. So let's get to it. Perfect Dark, for those who don't know, is a first-person shooter released on the N64 in 2000. It was the first title of the series, and it follows the story of the Carrington Institute agent Joanna Dark.
Joanna Dark. I can't believe it was back in 2000, you know?
I know, 19 years ago.
Oh my god.
It's disgusting.
That's nearly
isn't it?
20.
I know.
That's horrendous.
I know, it's a big number, isn't it?
Oh god.
It is a big number. 19 years old. It actually just celebrated its 19th birthday. I remember it was out on Twitter. People talking about it. So yeah. So the story is about Joanna Dark. She attempts to stop an extraterrestrial conspiracy by rival corporation Datadyne. There was a different game that was also released on the Game Boy Color that was shortly afterwards.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there was indeed. There was also, do you remember the transfer pack? You could get
Yes.
Before you could actually transfer the data.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I played it briefly, but I never really got into it. It was never Perfect Dark for me.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, N64 was like where it was at, right?
That was the one. Perfect Dark, it was really developed by Rare, and it was the spiritual successor to GoldenEye, really. Dark, I mean, it shares similarities with GoldenEye, but with an upgraded engine. The game, obviously, it had a single player, but we will get on to in a moment, the co-op. And the matches. That's where it was at. That's where it was at for us. The game, just for a few little bits of stats and that kind of thing. I'm not going to get too technical.
Hit me.
But if you didn't know, the game utilizes the N64's expansion pack, and it was technically one of the most advanced games on the 64, offering optional high resolution, widescreen support, and Dolby surround sound. How old school is that?
Crap-a-rooney.
You know, Dolby surround sound. Surround sound. Yeah.
I was expecting mono.
No.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It had it all. It really did. There were 9 missions in total, comprised of between 1 and 3 different levels. It seemed like a much bigger game, but
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I was surprised there was only 9 levels.
Yeah.
It seemed bigger.
Yeah. Because GoldenEye had a lot more than that. I think it had like 14,
it's gotta be
15 missions, something like that. But there seemed a lot more in Perfect Dark. I don't know whether that's because we spent most of our time playing the multiplayer.
Maybe.
But once again, for those of you who don't know the story of Perfect Dark, I suppose we could go into it in a bit more detail, couldn't we?
We could indeed.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll do that.
Why not?
We'll do that. Here we go. Perfect Dark is set in 2023, not too far away.
No, not 4 years.
4 years. That's a bit scary. So, Perfect Dark is set against the backdrop of an interstellar war between two alien races. The Mayans, who resemble the archetypal grey alien, and the Skedar, who are reptile-like creatures. They use a cloaking device to appear as like Nordic men. Do you remember?
God, yes.
Yeah.
It's flooding back now. Wow.
Using this device, they could interact with humans on Earth without appearing sort of overtly suspicious. Meanwhile, on Earth, there is an ongoing rivalry between, as I mentioned, the two factions, the Carrington Institute and a research and development centre founded by Daniel Carrington that secretly operates an espionage group in league with the Mayans, who are the bad guys, and Datadyne, a defense contractor corporation headed by Cassandra DeVries, in exchange for creating an AI capable of cracking an ancient spacecraft, I should say, buried on the bed of the Pacific Ocean. Skedar have agreed to supply Datadyne with enough alien technology to become the biggest corporation on Earth. So, as I mentioned earlier, you play as Joanna Dark, an agent of the Carrington Institute, whose excellent scores in training have earned her the code name of
Perfect Dark.
Oh, you got it!
Man.
Perfect Dark.
That's so good.
I know.
I was going to say, like, GoldenEye, but I thought that might be wrong.
It's the wrong game. On her first mission, she's sent to extract a defector known as Dr. Carroll from a Datadyne laboratory. Dr. Carroll is revealed to be the AI created by Datadyne and is worried about the mission for which it has been designed. After the extraction, Carrington is held captive at his private villa by Datadyne soldiers. When Joanna rescues him, she is informed that Dr. Carroll has been taken to a Datadyne front in Chicago. There, Joanna learns that Cassandra, NSA Director Trent Easton, and a mysterious Nordic man known as Mr. Blonde.
Oh, Mr. Blonde! Oh my god, he was actually blonde as well.
He was
obviously,
blonde.
but god, yeah, Mr. Blonde.
Yes, I know. It all came back to me when I was doing my research and looking back on this, and yeah, I was like, oh my god, these people. Mr. Blonde. The plan was to kidnap the President of the United States to get access to a deep sea research vessel called the Pelagic 2. Although the President is in danger, Carrington alerts Joanna that a Mayan craft was shot down near Area 51 and sends her to rescue a Mayan protector named Elvis.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The alien Elvis.
Elvis, the alien. I'm trying to think of his voice now.
God, all I can think of is the film with Shaun of the Dead guy, Sean Penn.
Yes,
Sean
Paul.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn?
Sean Penn.
Was he the alien?
Sean Penn, innit? Yeah, of course.
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg and Sean Penn. SP!
Yes.
So I've got the initials right.
He got it.
Oh, my knowledge base isn't that great.
Yes.
That's all I can think of now, because that was Seth Rogen, right? Who did the voice?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. Elvis was a cool little character. At times, really, really annoying, if I remember rightly. But he seemed cool at the time. His name was Elvis, and he was an alien. So that was cool. He was awesome.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, but there were moments he got in the way. I remember killing him quite a lot.
Yeah, he would just get in the way of shots.
Yeah. He'd just be there scuttling around. He'd be like, oh god.
And if he died, you lost the mission, right? Is that right?
Yeah. And there were so many missions with him where you had to protect him. Oh my god, he's driving me insane.
He used to run into the battlefield and just get shot.
He was a soldier though, if I remember rightly. I think he was a soldier of the Mayan peoples, but god, they must lose a lot of soldiers.
Yeah, that's anything we go by, that's for sure. Jesus.
So, back to the plot.
Yeah.
Because the President of the United States refuses to loan Datadyne the Pelagic 2, the NSA sends a strike team to kill and replace him with a Datadyne-grown clone. The strike team invades the airbase from which the Air Force One will depart. Now, do you remember the Air Force One mission? Do you remember in the plane?
Yeah. That was pure magic.
I don't remember. Was it a multiplayer level, or could you only play the missions? Because I seem to remember it as a multiplayer map actually on the plane.
Ooh, I don't know. I thought it was a mission. I thought it was a co-op mission.
let us know if you know.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, 'cause I can't remember that one. Strike team invades the airbase from which Air Force One will depart, and when Joanna foils the strike, the NSA and a group of cloaked Skedar take over the plane itself, which crashes after Joanna attempts to detach a craft attached to it. Having survived the crash, Joanna eliminates the president's clone and rescues the real president. Trent's incompetence angers Mr. Blonde, who kills him after disabling his cloaking device. Without permission from the president, Datadyne decides to hijack the Pelagic 2 and reach the ancient spacecraft. However, unbeknownst to Datadyne, the spacecraft contains a powerful weapon capable of destroying a planet, and the Skedar intend to test it on Earth before using it against the Mayan homeworld.
Jerks.
I know. They were never the friendliest of people, were they? I think it was the last level, wasn't it? Actually, on the Skedar planet.
Yeah.
And they were all over the place, because I remember when you kill the boss at the end. Do you remember you have to shoot that shard?
Yes.
You have to shoot the shard, and it falls down and.
Yeah. Wasn't that level a bit like a bit sandy?
Yeah.
Like kind of.
Yeah, you had all like the
temple type
ruins
thing.
and like all the sand.
Yeah.
That was it.
God.
Amazing. So what happens from there, and really the conclusion of everything? Joanna and Elvis follow Datadyne to the ancient spacecraft, where they find a reprogrammed Dr. Carroll cracking the weapon. Joanna replaces its current personality with a backup of the original, and the restored Dr. Carroll sets the weapon to self-destruct. As Carrington and Joanna prepare for a presidential reception, the Skedar assault the Carrington Institute and capture Joanna. In space, aboard an alien spaceship on course to the Skedar homeworld, Joanna finds herself in a holding cell with Cassandra. Feeling that she has been used, Cassandra redeems herself by making a distraction and sacrificing herself, freeing Joanna and therefore giving herself a chance of revenge. With the help of Elvis, Joanna takes control of the spaceship and lands on the Skedar homeworld, where she ultimately defeats the Skedar leader, which we were talking about, leaving the Skedar in disarray. And the game ends with Elvis and Joanna leaving the planet just prior to an orbit bombardment from the Mayan Navy. And that is pretty much Perfect Dark in a nutshell. That's the story.
that was pretty perfect to me. More hit. Oh, yeah. Okay.
More of those, please. It's
Never.
good. Never. So anyway, I mean that's Perfect Dark in a nutshell. To round it up, that's the bits and bobs that actually make it Perfect Dark. But as much as I love the game, I think the memories I have of the game is just the constant multiplayer we used to play all the time, like ridiculous amounts of multiplayer.
It was kind of classic kind of couch co-op in a way.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
We're after school, we'll go back to yours and whack on the N64 and Perfect Dark all the time. The co-op missions were great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I was going to say actually, fun fact, Perfect Dark, 42 weapons, including your fists in Perfect Dark.
Including your fists?
Including your fists, yeah.
Blimey.
There was an awful lot of weapons in that game. Just to kind of like reel off a few of my favourites. Do you remember the Reaper?
That's coming. I remember the name.
It's like a two-handed thing, and it span round and went.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yes.
Just like shrapnel everywhere, like You couldn't. I said this the other day when I was talking to somebody. I think it was on Twitter. You couldn't hit a puppy drowning in the toilet with that thing, but it made a noise, and it was like Jesus. God. Oh, it's so good. That was memories of that gun. A couple of others I remember as well. There was the Slayer, which was like a rocket launcher, but you could guide it.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
Guide the missile.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
Awesome.
As I say, there are a lot of guns, but there's, some of my favourites. There was also, do you remember the laptop gun?
Yes. That was weird. So, yeah.
It was a normal gun, and then you deployed it as like a sentry gun.
Yeah.
You could have it all like laid out.
I love that sentry gun.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
There was, I remember, Farsight XR20, which was like a really ugly green alien weapon. It was like a sniper rifle, but you could look through walls.
Yes.
And you could shoot people through the walls.
This is the thing with Perfect Dark. I think it was so ahead of its time with regards to the weapons and the ideas. Not just with like the human weapons. Yeah. Because you got the gadget style. With obviously the laptop, which has also a sentry gun, but also the alien guns.
Yeah.
I think the idea levels set so far ahead of time. I think they were fantastic.
Because that's the thing you said. You had the human weapons, but you had the Carrington Institute ones.
Yeah.
The Datadyne.
Yeah.
Then you had the 2 different species of alien.
Yeah.
So there was so much going on in that game. And I know people always bang on about GoldenEye, and GoldenEye is great. I mean, God, the memories we've got of GoldenEye. But
Brilliant.
just something about Perfect Dark. And for me, I think the thing it really boils down to, yes, it's the multiplayer, but it was the simulants in the multiplayer.
Yes.
The fact that I think you could have 8 in total, and you could have like suicide ones that would just come at you, and they would just run at you and be like, "Dah!" And you and then there were like idiot ones who just be like. And just stroll about, and then you'd have one that were just fists, and you could just have a whole selection running around. And where the AI was not quite what it is nowadays, they'd all be like turning and bumping into each other and getting locked in lifts, and it was just chaos. It was absolute chaos, but it was awesome.
The thing is, that reminds me of a fairly new game, and it's called. You get a load of dudes, right? You have 2 sides, and they're just.
Yes, I know what you mean.
You know, like what? It's tabs or something. So the game, finally remembered by Google. Tabs, so totally accurate battle simulator, where you've got like 2 sides and perhaps all types of different dudes, but they're just like a little bit idiotic in ways. They get stuck on freaking limp, like ragdolling, and just get stuck on rocks and stuff. That just reminds me of what you're saying with like the random crappy AI from the simulants.
Yeah. Which the thing is, the hilarious thing is, we found it funny back then, but people find, like, if you haven't played or watched this game, you really have to, because it's hilarious to watch. But it's because it's so stupid. Back then, that was really top of the notch console AI. And yes, we found it funny, but at the same time, it was like, this is so cool. It was so beyond. Because really, like, before that, it really was GoldenEye, really. I mean, okay, there was Quake a little bit, but it was very much kind of a deathmatch. You went in and you just started shooting each other. You had computers, not only computers, every computer did a different thing. And then you had yourself and your mates, and it was just ridiculous. I remember in one of the levels with the lift, and we'd sit in that lift and just go up and down and wait, and you could see them coming at the doors, and they'd be in and out of the doors, and you'd open the door a bit and they'd just start throwing like knives and mines in, and oh my god,
the mines.
The mines.
Oh god.
It was just it was brilliant. I didn't want to do the technical stuff too much today, and I wanted to make this fun, because Perfect Dark for me was fun. It was a great game, and I think after speaking to a lot of people, both in real life and on Twitter, about Perfect Dark, I think it's one of them that doesn't get enough credit. People forget about Perfect Dark. They always remember GoldenEye and they forget Perfect Dark. And it's a wonderful game for its time. We won't talk about when it went to Xbox.
No. I never played that version, and by the looks of things, and from what I hear, I would never want to. I mean, it's just, why?
They basically did what they did with all the other Rare games.
Rare was so good on the 64.
Yeah, they were.
So what, they had Banjo-Kazooie, was it?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Conkers?
Yeah, Conker.
Then obviously Perfect Dark and GoldenEye.
Yeah, Jet Force Gemini.
Jet Force Gemini, yes.
Loads.
Like, so many good games.
Yeah.
And then they screwed them all up.
Yeah. Took them to Microsoft. Microsoft, like, do you know what? We'll take that great idea. We'll
just, man, it does my head when that happens.
I know. I know. That's enough talk about the Xbox versions of Rare's games. You know, I love Perfect Dark, you know, and I'd strongly suggest anybody out there, if you haven't played it, don't pick it up on Xbox. Go and buy an N64 for very little money and give it a go. You know, yes, it's great to play online and it's great to play with people, but nothing beats that experience of sitting down together. And I don't think you can encapsulate that multiplayer feeling more than you can with a game like Perfect Dark. I really don't. No. So that's why I want to give it some love today.
I think it pays homage to proper, like I say, couch co-op, where you've got 2, 3, 4 friends.
Yeah.
And you're there in the same room. Yes, it's split screen. Yes, your screen's smaller than like a normal screen if you're playing online. But it's more interaction.
Yeah.
It's more competitiveness, I would say.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Because your friends are right there, and
you
then
can literally punch them.
Exactly. You can literally punch them.
Yeah.
In the game and in real life.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you want that in your life?
Exactly. I think we'll leave it there.
I think so.
You know?
I think that was a well-rounded. It was splashing of nostalgia.
Yes,
from our point of view.
All about the nostalgia.
Yeah.
So, as always, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, then obviously click the like button. You know, that's a great thing to do. You know, subscribe
to the channel.
It's also awesome. If you like what we do, if you like this video, or if you like any of our other videos, please subscribe. You know, there's plenty more to come. And leave those comments. We love hearing back from you guys. We love reading your comments. They brighten our day a lot of the time. So it's awesome to hear back from you, especially with something like this, which a lot of people have a lot of love for.
But there's a few hurtful ones which really get us here. Yeah, I don't think we will talk about that now.
Today,
it's just too hard.
It's too hard. So damn hard!
Anyway, so we'll just cry ourselves to sleep tonight.
It's fine.
Anyway, well, thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. And we will, of course, see you on the next video, won't we?
We will.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, good.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So I need to be looking at you.
I know, I'm trying to like,
so
yeah.
not...
It's so weird. Don't look at me. Is it?
But then I could say some stuff like, oh, then what happened?
Okay.
What happened to the baddie? Did the baddie go away?
Are we sitting? This is going to be a tough one.
It is going to be a tough one. Okay.
Are we sitting comfortably?
I can't do it, I'm sorry.
Are we sitting comfortably?
Yes, I am. Yes, Papa will. Oh yeah, actually, that's it.
Is that it?
That's gonna be it. That's gonna get his Papa will.
I can't. Okay. I still don't know what I'm gonna even fucking say after that, but there we go. What can we do for like a little joke? Because then it would be like turned us into this.
Welcome to 2-Bit Gaming. I am Josh.
And I'm Will.
We're here to start doing nothing. Welcome to 2-Bit Gaming. I am Josh.
And I'm Will.
And we are going to delve in a little bit, not deeper. Oh, no.
That was nice.
Yeah.